Hey everybody, welcome back. Are you worried about writing those FRQs? Well, don't worry, relax, I got you. Nothing stresses AP Gov students out more than those dreaded FRQs. But in this video, I'm going to show you everything you need to know so that you can successfully write those AP Gov FRQs this year. And hey, real quick, before you forget, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already so you can get all my great AP Gov content to help you get that 5 on this year's exam. Let's start with the task verbs. I'm talking about the different things that the prompt can instruct you to do. Now in AP Gov, there are 4 different FRQs that you'll be asked to write, but for all of them, they're going to tell you to do the same things, to identify, describe, and explain. Now, each of these task verbs has a different task that needs to be completed for you to earn that point. So, for example, if it said to describe your favorite food, and you said, my favorite food is pizza, well, you wouldn't earn the point because you didn't describe your favorite food, you only identified it. So we're going to go through each of these 3, identify, describe, and explain, and walk you through exactly what you need to do to earn the point for that particular task verb. Identify is the most simple command. All you have to do is say the answer. That's it. No elaboration, no details, no nothing. Now, you do need to write your answers in a complete sentence, even for an identify. So for example, if you were told to identify a constitutional amendment that increased suffrage, you could say something like, the 19th Amendment increased suffrage. That's it. You got the point, get out of there, move on to the next one. Describe, on the other hand, involves a little bit more. So yes, you start by identifying the answer, but then you need to fill that answer out with the essential characteristics, talking about a process, giving details. So, for example, if instead of saying identify an amendment that increased suffrage, it said describe a constitutional amendment that increased suffrage, you'd have to give a little bit more information. So say something like, the 19th Amendment increased suffrage because it guaranteed women the right to vote. That detail is the difference between getting the point and not getting the point. If you had just said that the 19th Amendment increased suffrage, that's a correct statement, it's true, but it would not earn the point because that's an identify, not a describe. So always make sure you add that detail when you're asked to describe. Explain involves the most amount of effort. First, you have to begin by defining all relevant terms. You can't explain to me how or why something works the way that it does if you didn't tell me what it was in the first place. I've been an AP reader for the last 6 years, and I have to tell you that readers cannot assume that you know something. You have to put it on the page. So for explain, don't leave anything to chance. Tell the reader everything you need them to know. Alright, so I want you to remember the 3 E's of explaining. Elaborate, provide evidence, and give an example. A good explain answer is usually a solid paragraph and almost always requires you to use the word because. Remember, you're trying to show a relationship between how one thing causes or affects another thing, so you need to use that word because to make that connection. Suppose that you were told to explain how the 19th Amendment affected voter turnout. You can't just say that the 19th Amendment gave women the right to vote. Obviously that's true and it's important and it's something that you need to say in your answer, but that doesn't explain how it affected turnout. So let's consider a good answer for this prompt. So we're going to start by describing the 19th Amendment. The 19th Amendment guaranteed that women had the right to vote. Now make the connection from the right to vote to voter turnout. Those 2 ideas are similar, but they are not the same. Okay, so women are about half of the population of the United States. And now that women had the right to vote, voter turnout significantly increased. This looks good, but it actually wouldn't earn the point. Look at the prompt and see if you can find what's missing. Notice the end of the prompt says, in federal elections. Now that might seem like a throwaway phrase, but I promise you it isn't. Your answer about voter turnout needs to specifically address turnout in federal elections. If your answer doesn't, you won't earn the point. I can't tell you how many good answers I've seen not earn the point because of something like this. Look back at the answer we have that doesn't earn the point. It's a good answer. It answers the prompt almost completely. But what we have to do is add those words in federal elections and voila! This now earns the point. This is called closing the loop. It means that you are showing that your answer is specifically addressing the entire prompt. So again, basically, just make sure you're doing what the prompt tells you to do. You can't describe on an explain and hope to get the point. So explain, elaborate, provide evidence, and close the loop. Alright, until next time, this has been a LaMoney production. Thanks again for watching this video. Make sure you hit that like button for me, subscribe if you haven't already, And make sure you check out my next couple of videos about the FRQs, the argument essay, the concept application, so you can be totally prepared for this AP exam. See you guys next time.